People will always treat you the way that you see yourself. That's a whole fact. Fellas, gentlemen, welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down some concepts of how to get respect from people. Ultimately, how to respect yourself. Now, I've oftentimes spoken about the concept of self-image. In this video, I don't want to give you guys fluff. I want to break down and articulate clearly for you guys what this looks like when you respect yourself. Because the truth is, if you're living a life right now that's not desirable, it's not exactly what you want, this is an outward manifestation of how you see and view yourself. What do I mean? What I mean by this is people are always going to reflect back to you who you are, what you believe. And so if you're not dating the women that you want, right? If you're not getting the actual dates that you want, the relationships, if you're not around the social circle that you want, around the people that you want, if you're not making the money that you want, if you are not living the life that you want, the exact life. I'm not talking about the life that you think that you can live. I'm talking about the life that you actually fantasize, desire, and want on a deep level. This is because, to put it frank, not only are you not worthy of it, right? Which I'll circle back to, on the subconscious level, you're exactly where you want to be. And what I mean by this is when you start to find yourself in certain rooms around certain people, get the girl, right? You find yourself self-sabotaging. And it's because there's a self-image issue. So people will always treat you the way that you see yourself. Now, that being said, how do we actually fix this issue? You fix this issue by one, getting clear. And what I mean by this is getting clear on what you actually want. As I mentioned, you have to de-shackle your mind. So many of us have been conditioned by our environment, our society, whatever religious background that you're from, to not be able to be free as a man and really dream and fantasize about what you want. It's okay to want what you want. However, it's not okay to say that you want something and then not get it. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you guys how to get it. Now, once you are able to get clear, right, you have to write it down. There's something powerful about writing down what a man wants. Write down exactly what you want. You see, reality is simply a figment of our imagination. I know you guys have heard that before. I place so much importance on my mind. I'll give you guys an example. So I, over here, I've written down every win, every perceived failure, every insecurity that I had last year. You know, where am I going? What are some self-doubts? What is some inner conflict? I write down everything. I log in. You see, you have to look at yourself like an investment, like a business, right? Every time that you make a promise to yourself and you keep that promise and you honor that promise and you invest back in yourself, your stock rises. I also have a journal right here where I write down my thoughts. I write down my good ideas. I write down where I'm going to go, how I feel, because I look at my life like essentially like a movie. I look at myself as a great. I internalize the fact that I'm a great. You look at all of these greats, Marcus Aurelius, right? Seneca, all of the great thinkers, Plato, right? Socrates, whoever, right? You look at all of these greats, many of them documented their life. They wrote down, they journaled their thoughts. And now thousands of years later, we read it, right? In awe. So I look at myself like this and I document my life. Not only do I look at myself like this, I live like this. I do the things that are uncomfortable. But more importantly, I honor myself. So when you honor yourself like this behind closed doors, all these guys are talking about aura and confidence and quiet confidence. I'm not gonna lie to you. The only way to get confident, the only way to get respect is for you to honor and respect yourself behind closed doors. I'll give you an example. This morning, I woke up super early. I was exhausted. I went to bed late last night. I didn't want to get up. That alarm went off. It was super early. I still got up. Did my meditation work, did my visualization work, Read my C-type goal, right? Which, by the way, if you're unfamiliar with what the C-type goal is, you got a lot of work to catch up on, brother. You're going to want to go watch my videos for the last 2 months to get caught up. I read my C-type goal. I trained. I honored myself. Even though I didn't want to get up, I know that by me taking this action, this inspired action of living in alignment with the ultimate version of myself, this is when you get an opposite and equal reaction based off of your inspired action. This is the only way to become the exact man that you want to be. To put it straight, you have to literally get clear on what you want, write it down, and simply, it's not easy, but it is simple. Live as that man. You cannot beat the man that can conceptualize with brevity exactly where he wants to go, and then he gets up and lives like it. You can't beat that man. You see, gentlemen, listen carefully. People are always going to treat you the way that you see yourself, because if you want to go somewhere and you're not living like that, you're not being like that, how can you expect people to respect you like you are that? They only respect a man that's actually the man that he says he is. And in this modern day and age, everybody can put on a front. They can portray, they can project, they can act. We have social media. People can portray that they're rich. They can portray that they have high status. They can portray that they have all of these different things. When you get in contact with them on an energetic level, you feel it if they are truthfully the person, the man that they say that they are. So when I walk in a room these days, and I'm not portraying myself to be this bigger than life personality, I'm portraying myself to be 100% the man that I say that I am. Idiosyncratic, right? Indistinguishable. When I walk in a room now, I get respect from people. It's a certain energy. People are just drawn to me when I walk in the room. It was not always like this. And I'm not saying that I have a perfect self-image. I do daily self-talk. I'm constantly working on my self-talk, right? Because I need to maintain this image of myself as I take the action in alignment with that ultimate man. I used to be timid, insecure, docile, had a speech impediment. I told you guys this already, right? I wasn't dating the quality women that I wanted. I wasn't around the types of friends and brotherhood, right? It's amazing when I look back on my life now. I speak for a living. I'm a coach. I coach men and help them get to their highest versions of themselves, their C-type goals. How did I become this man, right? And how am I going to become the higher version of myself? Well, you got to look at yourself like an investment, fellas. Every time that you honor yourself, your stock goes back up. And only when you do this, is when you get the aura, the quiet confidence. You see, when you walk in a room and people feel you, you see, a superior man doesn't have to flex his muscle. You don't have to show people your value. People will know your value just by the first interaction with you. And if they don't see your value, okay, keep it pushing. You see, if you're not getting respected, if you're not getting treated the way that you want to be treated, you don't see yourself that way. That's the truth. Because anytime that you see yourself of upper echelon, you're going to be treated as such. Whether this is with women, whether this is in your career, at your job, whatever, your business, whatever. You have to treat yourself this way, fellas. Respect yourself. Always be thinking from the higher perspective, right? Always be thinking, would the best version of me be doing this right now? Would he be stroking it 5 days in a row to the hub? Think about it. Let's be honest. Would he be stroking it to the hub? No, he wouldn't. Would he be triple texting a girl? No, he wouldn't. Would he be scrolling all day, doom scrolling? No, he wouldn't. How would he talk? How would he walk? Would he be intelligent? You see, me, I don't eat shitty foods like I used to anymore. I try my hardest to stay away from chemicals. I'm not perfect. I enjoy some snacks, right? Some cheap food. I never portray myself to be perfect, right? Once in a blue moon, you might see me at a strip club with my friends. I'm not perfect. I love to have a good time. However, I'm always bringing myself back to center. Dud, what we doing? Are we living like the highest version of ourselves? And that's the North Star. And that keeps me on the path. That's like a train on tracks, right? It might get a little wobbly, but you stay on track once you have that clarity. And once you have that clarity and you live like that, man, people will treat you with respect. Women will gravitate towards you. People in general will gravitate towards you. I am a living product of this message. I'm a product of this work. I do the deep work on myself. This is not something that you can fake. This is something that you must become. I talked to you, gentlemen, about the concept of delusion. You got to know when to have selective delusionalism. I coined that, right? You have to know when to apply that delusion. And once you start to live like this and walk like this, man, right? Some people might look at you and they might project on you and get, offended or rattled because they're insecure with themselves. And they might call you rigid. Oh, you're being rigid. And that, that might be very well true. You might be rigid, but I'd rather be rigid, focused on the path to realizing my dreams than fluid on the path to nowhere, on the path to being like the average. You see, when I tell you guys that you have to be insane, you have to be abnormal, all that means is you have to live in contrary to what the average populace expresses. And just take a look. Get off your phone for 1 second. After this video, just go outside and observe people for the day. The average populace is uncertain. They live in constant angst. They're timid. They're not happy. They're broke, living in poverty. They have an impoverished mind. They can't control themselves sexually. They can't control themselves emotionally. They can't have intellectual conversation with opposing views without getting fervent and zealous and lashing out. They have no control over themselves. Do you want to be this way? Or do you want to live like a man that has autonomy and control, an intellectual, a renaissance man, the Don, the boss? Well, if you want to live like that, you have to become the CEO of your mind. And to become the CEO of your mind, in order to become the CEO of your life, you got to get clear. So write what you want, fantasize about what you want, and then live what you want. Take the actions. I didn't want to get up early this morning. That shit suck. You don't want to watch this video right now. You want the results of this video. The clients that hire me, they don't want to be there. They want the results. And to get the results, you have to become. And only when you become, this is when people will respect you. People will treat you how you see yourself. You see, I value myself. I didn't always value myself, fellas. Just being honest. I was deeply insecure. I value myself now. And another thing is you always want to leave people with the impression of increase. What do I mean by this? Every person, and listen to me carefully, I'm going to tell you right now how to truly get rich, how to truly be abundant. Listen carefully. Every person that you come in contact with, I don't care if it's an Uber driver, I don't care if it's a janitor, every person that you come in contact with, leave them with the impression of increase. What I mean is leave them feeling that they got something from the interaction. Whether it's a compliment, and make it genuine. Greet somebody. Highlight something good that somebody does. Make them feel that they got something from you. That energy always has to flow back to its point of origination, okay? Of origin. Anytime you give, it will come back to you. This is law. So move this way. And when people come in contact with you, they're going to treat you like you're something special, because you are, because you believe you are, and you live as that. This is the only way to get true self-confidence, to build up your self-image, to self-aggrandize yourself. Listen to me carefully. I'm giving you the keys to truly have wealth in your mind. And from your mind will come everything. This is law. You see, people can't just get in contact with me. I had to increase my self-image. I used to give out my time so freely. And because of this, there was internal conflict. I wasn't respecting myself. Now you can't just get on a call with me anymore. You have to book a call like anybody else with somebody on my team. How would the highest version of you move, live, think? Would he give his time freely? Would he just lay down with any woman? Would he be paying for prostitutes? Uh-oh, passport bros, let's talk about it. Would he be paying for poon? How would he live? Or would he have the most beautiful woman or women that mutually wanted to be there with him? You got to live like this man. Would he be timid? Would he be docile? Would he be fat? Would he be out of shape? Would he be smoking cigarettes all day, killing himself? Putting poison in himself? Huh? What would he be doing? What would the best version of you do, live, and be? Deep down, you know you don't respect yourself. So how can you walk around here saying that you want a gorgeous woman, a wife, whatever, the money, the impact, the notoriety? How could you say you want this when you don't take any actionable steps to live like this man? Let's be honest with ourselves, fellas. Be honest. You don't want it like you say you do. And that's okay. But just keep it a buck and leave the spoils of war for the real men that actually live like they want this shit. That walk like they want this shit. That put in the work relentlessly every single day. Leave the spoils for the real men. Those that dominate and conquer their own minds every single day so they conquer the real world. You will never be a conqueror, a dominator, until you dominate yourself first. Because there is nothing outside of this. From this comes everything. And once you understand this and you understand this, people will always treat you the way that you see and treat yourself. Salute.